Roots of a Poison Tree by McNeill. A short story from League of Legends. Read to you by Prestige Edition.
Featuring the voice of the Sweet Sniper.
Dust hung in veils as Shirai followed the mechanical-limbed form of Tunnel Chief Hewlett deeper into the mineshaft. She breathed via a used esophageal and tried not to imagine how many Zonite miners had sucked air through it over the years. Sputtering chem flares strung from timber roof beams dribbled glowing droplets onto their pitted iron helmets as they passed underneath. "He'd you was to say on a square," grunted Hewlett, looking over his shoulder. "Was big team staking?" "We heard you were a good assayer," Shirai translated, "but we were sorely mistaken." 7 years since she'd come to Zon, but the miner's strange argot still took her a moment to parse. "Say to Orsia, we no need Piltiase," continued Hewlett. "She not savvy with Zonrock like in we is. They has done sunk us in the first team."
I assure you, Chief Hewlett, I have delved mines everywhere from Shurima to Zon,
said Shirai.
I know this rock as well as you.
"So you sayin'?" grunted Hewlett as they entered the gallery chamber at the end of the shaft. "But rock here not be likin' you say." Dust-smeared miners sat next to chemdrills, pneumopicks, and crates of hexplosives. Every one of them ought to be attacking the rock in search of the hexite seam she'd promised Baron Grime was here. To see them idle railed against her work ethic. Hewlett lifted a chem lamp to illuminate the rock at the end of the chamber. At first, Shirai wasn't sure what she was seeing. Zonite strata was most often crushed sedimentary limestone, interspersed with pockets of metamorphic rock, wrought by intense and, not so long ago, heat and pressure. This was something else entirely. Shirai snatched the lamp and walked the length of the gallery. She pulled off her glove and ran her fingertips over the wall. Pitted and warm to the touch, with a curious umber hue, like something she'd expect to find in her native Shurima.
This makes no sense,
she said.
This wasn't here yesterday.
"I try telling ya," replied Hewlett. "We drill on the yester just liking you say. Come back on the first bell and seen this."
Whatever this is, the Baron isn't paying you to sit around doing nothing. Blast through it.
Hewlett grinned. "So we fixin' to lay out explosives, yeah?"
"Yes,"
agreed Shirai.
"I wouldn't do that if I were you."
The voice boomed from all around them, a shockwave in the air, each word sounding as though it had been formed by grinding tectonic plates. The miners took to their heels, but Shirai flattened herself against the side wall of the chamber and pulled her helmet tightly down on her head. The voice sounded like it belonged to something titanic. Cracks spread across the ceiling of the gallery. She looked up in time to see the pitted rock wall move. It shifted, grinding as it reshaped itself. Shirai watched in amazement as it formed 2 deep craters that looked like closed eyes, and a projecting crag that could be a nose. Dust poured from a curved and jagged chasm that looked horribly like a vast mouth. The face filled the wall before her, fully 30 feet across and twice that high.
Azir's bones. If this is its head, how big is the rest of its body?
The craters of its eyes opened with a grinding sound, that reminded her of the time she'd seen that wandering weaver girl perform wonders on the road to Kennethet. Shirai met the gaze of the colossal face, its eyes a liquid yellow, gem-like material.
Quartz.
She thought.
Not natural to this region.
This rock is infested,
said the voice, and Shirai pressed her hands against her ears at its deafening volume.
Creatures move within it. Beautiful in their own way, but chaotic. You should not break this rock. It will end badly for you.
The eyes blinked, and pebbles fell from their rocky lids.
Are you the mountain spirit or something?
She asked. The brow of the face creased with a groaning rumble.
No. At least, I don't think so. I think I was part of one once. So much chaos in this world makes it hard to remember everything.
So what are you?
She asked.
Ah, what indeed?
It said. And the mine shaft flexed as the face sighed mournfully.
A shard of a greater whole. A servant of order seeking purpose. Call me Malphite.
Loose shale cascaded from cracks in the walls of the tunnel, and the timber supports groaned as they were subjected to stresses they were never built to endure. Shirai didn't like the look of the split lines on the seam above her head. They were ambitious, eager to race onward.
Could you stop moving? I think you're going to collapse the cave.
Oh, sorry.
You said the rock was infested?
Asked Shirai.
With what?
Things that should not be. Creatures that live only to consume.
Shirai felt her heart race. Growing up in the shadow of Lost Acathia, she knew of creatures that matched such a description.
I know them,
she said.
but they only dwell in the deserts of the southern continent.
Once, perhaps. But now they thread the crust of the world like the roots of a poisoned tree.
Shirai looked uneasily at the ground. The rock face chuckled, and more shards of stone fell from the roof.
Not to worry. I have them trapped within my body. I will crush these ones, but more will come, so be wary of delving too deep.
The glow of the creature's eyes faded as its heavy lids closed and the tunnel began to shake.
You should go now,
said the rock face. Hewlett appeared behind Shirai and took hold of her with his chem-powered arm.
We got to skedaddle, I say,
he said.
We linger, cave be crushing us.
Shirai nodded, backing away from the gallery.
I'll tell Baron Grime this scene was played out.
Hewlett grinned.
Maybe you will say on a square after all.
I'd like to thank the Sweet Sniper for this week's collaboration.
You can find me at twitch.tv/thesweetsniper.
All credit for these stories goes to Riot Games and League of Legends. Full details can be found in the video description. If you enjoyed this production, please hit like and subscribe. There's a lot more coming.